subscribe.
You hate me more than Vince Russo, motherfucker!
We interrupt this program to bring you.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Strong Mid Card Podcast. This is Frank right here, going solo again this week, and just really wanted to do this because I wanted to touch on this big story that's going on right now with ACH, or AKA Jordan Myles. Yes, it's probably the biggest news going on right now because it's got caught up with so much controversy, and obviously I think we all know why by now. The shirt, the infamous shirt that was released by the WWE with Jordan Myles with his name on it as kind of a caricature of a smile, almost like with the white letter being the teeth, of course, and the red outline being the mouth, of course. ACH Jordan Myles, aka Jordan Myles, took big offense to that, and rightfully so, I would think, because it is a little too close, man. It's a little bit too close, especially right now with race relations kind of being a little bit iffy, and tensions at an all-time high. It's really kind of ignorant to be releasing something like that without even really without the WWE, the biggest company in the world, realizing what they're doing. It's was it meant to be full-on racist? I don't think so, but to be that tone deaf, to be that like inept and just not with the times and what's going on, and the fact that you're kind of doing this that closely resembles some Sambo shit, some fucking bullshit from the past, to not realize that, it's kind of out of touch. Kind of leaves you to think and wonder what the hell's going on over there. I know there was a theory out there that I can see it as possible as, what about if these guys are just given names and like a note that says Jordan Myles smiles a lot, come up with something, and maybe they didn't even know that it was an African American wrestler that they had doing this. What about that? Maybe, but at the same time, it's like, then that's something that needs to be taken care of, man. I know, and that's what happens when you have so much talent, that a lot of this kind of stuff gets slides through the cracks, and they don't realize what the hell it is that they're doing. Number one, it's a crappy t-shirt. It's a terrible design, very lazy, by supposedly the #1 wrestling company in the world, who has been known within the last 5 years to just release really shit merchandise when it comes to t-shirts. Only certain people get to kind of choose what they want, and then everybody else just kind of gets a shirt designed for them. It doesn't really matter if they like it or not. Now, if you look into the story, Jordan Myles has said that he, instead of fighting it, because kind of where he's at in the career right now is kind of an NXT, and just like, hey, you're getting your first merch, don't really want to fight it, so it's like, I'll counter it with something else that I want. And then I guess there was some miscommunication where the guy who was in charge of it told him that Triple H wanted it. So ACH said okay, and then when he confronted Triple H said, well, I was told that you approved it. So now there's some iffy shit going on right there too, man. As far as like a business aspect for the WWE, and then when they came out and made their announcement, kind of not really apologizing for anything, which is their motto as of late. They really don't want to take fault for anything, especially with the crown jewel bullshit and any other BS that's kind of they're trying to fling away from them. They kind of didn't do it with this one. They kind of just said in a statement that pretty much what it breaks down to is that we showed it to him. He said, yeah, he approved it. And then once the controversy came up, we pulled it. None of the shirts were actually sold. Surprise, surprise, the fucking shirt sucked. But it brings up the next day, or this morning, I believe, he kind of went on a Twitter rant and just kind of really laid in to the WWE and what he said was WWE doesn't care about black people. I mean, it's a real muddy ground when you think about it. They have been known to do a lot of crap. I mean, Vince McMahon just dropped an M-bomb to John Cena in front of Booker T, and then speaking on Booker T, wasn't allowed to get a title until he was a silly, fake king with the English accent, You know what I mean? Kofi losing the title in like 7 seconds and then not even really responding to that. More on that later, by the way. But, you know, kind of just unceremoniously and just swiftly had the title taken away because Brock wanted the title. You know, Mexicals, the Eddie Guerrero storyline, the way they treated Rey Mysterio. You know, it's just the list goes on and on, man. It's a Samba Simba if you really want to go back more. Akeem the African Dream, just shit like that. And it's you know, it's hard to not take to go backwards and see the shit that they have produced. That has to do a lot with racism, and at times that they did seem racist. So I can't blame him for feeling that way, or any black athlete or any black wrestler that's affiliated with the WWE or used to be affiliated with the WWE or is a current pro wrestler taking offense to this. I think there's a lot of sites and a lot of people out there that are saying, you know, that he needs to shut up and enjoy his place. And it's like, you know, when it comes to this stuff, if you're not black or even, you know, somebody of color, you probably shouldn't be talking out of your, you know, that's kind of out of your lane. You shouldn't be telling somebody how to feel about certain situations like this. This was a little too close. I totally understand where he's coming from. Saying that, however, you know, all the racist history that the WWE has had, you know, in the past and everything, saying that, what does this do for him? I mean, he went on a crazy Twitter rant, called out ROH for supposedly racism too. I mean, he called Jay Lethal and Uncle Tom, and this is really, it's getting really messy, man. Just kind of calling out Vince McMahon and Triple H, saying, you know, that he will not be silenced. Got a pretty big movement behind him. You know, kind of pretty much putting out there that maybe the black wrestling fan is very underrepresented, and I kind of feel like maybe that is true a little bit. You know, you hear about shit all the time. Old WCW days, they used to, you know, when I think it was Bill Watts or maybe Jim Herd was in charge, they would purposely not put the fan cameras on black kids. I believe there was a report out there that said, yeah, don't put the camera on black kids. You know what I mean? It's just the way they treated a lot of African Americans, and not only that, but, you know, Latin Americans, and, you know, with the stereotypes and the Japanese guys making them the foreign heels because they don't know how to book anybody foreign. If you don't speak English, you're gonna get booked as a foreign heel. It's kind of stupid. Like, I can see where all that is coming from, you know, with the ROH stuff and how he went off. Like I said, trying to get back to my original point here before I went on this rant. Where does this leave him? Is he trying to find a way out? Is he now trying to find a way out just because of the way he feels he's being misrepresented and kind of treated unfairly, maybe, or treated because of the way of the color of his skin? The way he's being treated because of the color of his skin, sorry. You know, where does he go from here? I was also reading right now on my way. I'm recording this kind of late. I was on my drive home. I was, you know, I had an alert from one of the articles that I usually, or one of the sites I usually read, that stated Vince McMahon thinking about dropping him, just ending his contract and letting him go. You know, does anybody take a risk on him? Do they think maybe he's like a loose cannon that can go off and they don't know if they're going to offend him or not? Or do they take a chance because of his talent, you know, his impact in his future, his AEW in his future, New Japan? I had a pleasure of actually watching him wrestle for New Japan when I went to the Long Beach show. Looked great. He's a very talented kid or young man. He pretty much has everything it takes to become a superstar. But now he has this kind of hanging over him. I mean, is this the fight he chooses to take? Is he like the Kaepernick for wrestling, man, where the talent's there and he's in the prime and he's ready to go and nobody wants to sign him? Like, what's going to become of this? You know, the next coming days is going to be very telling, man. And like I said, it's bringing up a lot of people are posting on, if you go on Twitter or even Instagram, a lot of people are posting stuff like videos or pictures of previously like racist things in the WWE or sexist things in the WWE, and it's just like, damn, man, like this is something that they don't need right now, especially with the ratings dropping and the bad reception to their shows, and NXT kind of losing a lot of viewers weekly. It's, you know, SmackDown really bad this past weekend or this past week. It's couldn't happen at a worse time for WWE, and their statement that they made, unapologetic. I mean, they're gonna have to release another one where they kind of, I mean, I'm guessing there's gonna be another statement released wants to kind of figure out what they're gonna do with Mr. Jordan Myles. I'm guessing they're probably gonna let him go because really, this is the mess that they're in. They keep him, they bring him up, and of course the typical WWE way, they're gonna punish him, they're gonna bury him. It's going to be too obvious, and the people are going to revolt and start saying that, well, you know, now you're clearly racist because you're punishing this kid for trying to speak up. You know, and do they want that? Do they want that smoke? I don't know, man. That's tricky. Like I said, is he reading too much into it? Were they just being, you know, foolish and lazy? Perhaps. But like I said, I'm not going to tell anybody of color how to feel about something that hits too close right here. This is too close to for him to actually say something about it. I can understand. Way too close. Like I read that they were trying to go for design that's most closely akin to something like the Rolling Stones thing. This is not even close. This is just a terrible design. This is terrible design. And for him to, number one, be upset at that, and number two, be like, that's a little too close to you know, the blackface thing, man. It's just terrible on their behalf. How can they be so tone deaf? How can they be so out of touch to not even think that that's, you know, that little hint of offending somebody who's of color? I don't know. It's just, you know, who know, and then, you know, what's gonna happen with them? That's the better question. So what do you guys think? I'm posting that question to you out there. Did he overreact, number one? And number two, what do you think is going to become of this guy? Like, is he too talented to not be signed? Is he done with wrestling? Who knows what's going to, you know, is this one of those things that's just going to die away? Is this just something that's really bad for WWE right now? Like, it's just kind of, everything's bunching up on them right now. So let me know what you guys think about that. Let's move into the SmackDown ratings for FS1. Terrible, I guess. I mean, I would consider it, considering from their first show, which was like almost a 4.0, to now under 1 million, right under 900,000. I believe it was 888,000. Significantly low, I believe, lower than the AEW show. So, you know, man, let the war words begin now, huh? Instagram and the Twitters are going to go crazy talking about this story. You got to remember, though, and I'm not necessarily backing the WWE, but you got to remember this was an FS1 show. Next week is the one to really keep your eyes on. If that one is under 1 million or barely over 1 million, then it's, you know, like I said on the last show, the Titanic already hit the iceberg, brother. Who the hell knows what's going to happen, man? And it's just like, it doesn't seem to be improving at all. Though I just was watching some of the highlights for Raw tonight, and the whole Lana, Rusev, and Lashley thing is just garbage. It's, you know, I know that Paul Heyman is supposed to be in charge, and it's like him and McMahon kind of collaborating, I guess, to an extent, but this is some straight Russo shit, dude. This is just terrible crash Jerry Springer bullshit that was maybe relevant in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, but in 2019, like, you're still doing this bull crap. You have two talented guys, Lashley and Rusev, who are being put out there and humiliated on TV on a weekly basis. Now, I'm sure they're being paid handsomely, and that's great, but you're kind of destroying these two guys when, you know, they don't really. Okay, I could see like a little bit of a hint to start a rivalry. Maybe Lashley starts making passes at Lana. That's enough to get these two guys fighting, because their matches would probably be pretty great, like strong guy, you know, slam all over the ring kind of matches. You don't need this shit. You don't need this Jerry Springer shit, man. It's passe. It's dumb. And you know, everybody talks about Paul Heyman being a genius. If this is his handiwork, then you know what? Maybe the business has passed him by too, man. Who knows? Because this is just not good. And I don't know where they go with this. And you know, they're trying to build up guys who they always kind of put as jobbers. And I'm mainly talking about like Sin Cara, but he lost again, it seems. But like I feel like Andrade needs to move on and start competing for some mid-card titles at least, or maybe make a run at the heavyweight title. I mean, Seth Rollins and Andrade for you know, like a heavyweight title match or a little bit of a rivalry. I'm all in for that. That'd be great. But you know, they're stalling, and I don't know where the hell they're going still with this Fiend Seth Rollins thing. The Crown Jewel, I mean, it's interesting just because it's more car crash television. Like, what the hell is going to happen? You know, I'm sure everybody's ready to collect some memes on some fucking really bad botches and just shit that doesn't make sense. That's not gonna matter the next week for the TV shows. It's just, man, it's like they're in a bad way. like I said, with the SmackDown ratings being that bad, if next week is that bad, or maybe, not anywhere, Fox, I think they said they paid for over 3 point in their ratings, and I'm sure right now they're saying no, we're really happy with what's going on, but you can't be that happy if you invested that much money and they're giving you that back. But like, they're supposed to be the number one company in the world. They have supposedly a room of writers that are supposed to be coming up with this, and the best shit that they got is, Jerry Springer shit from 1999 is very telling. I think Vince McMahon is obsessed with considering his two shows, SmackDown and Raw, to be TV shows. He's always said, "Oh, we make movies. This is entertainment. This is a television show. It's episodic." Meaning that what do you do when you have TV shows and movies and shit, and you have writers? So I guess he gave himself a group of writers, and it's not working. It hasn't worked, If AEW keep a nice momentum going, maybe start picking up and start getting in the one, when the casuals start turning over, AEW needs to capitalize right now, man. And I think WWE, really the only thing they got going for them is maybe NXT. Hopefully NXT can come through, and then they can settle down, stop trying to compete with AEW, and start pushing, along with your established stars, start making some new stars. And their women's division is amazing. They definitely are head and heels above the AEW for right now. But, for how long? AEW may start picking up great independent wrestlers with better fluidity in the ring that they currently have, and they might start taking off. But for right now, NXT is it's keeping the WWE afloat. Raw and SmackDown are gonna have their usual viewers, man, but it looks like they're dropping slowly, and who knows where they're gonna be by this time next year if they keep this shit going on, this shit show going on. So, oh man, like that's it's a whirlwind of a month, October, and this is the last week of October, man. But what an October it's been, it's so much just shit happening, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. I mean, look at another thing I wanted to touch on that I didn't get to until now, the video game. I mean, I'm not a video game guy, but I've seen some of those clips, and man, like to push this game the way they did, and then it's like not even a complete game. It's not even done really, with all the glitches and all the crazy the stuff that gets stuck with the Ronda Rousey clip with her trying to climb up the ropes. It looks like it is just crazy. Like, if you're a video game guy, like if you guys got the game, does that happen a lot? Does it take a while before that kind of shit starts happening? Did you buy it just because of that? You know what I mean? Like $60 a game. And that's a lot of money to ask, man. So you can't be mad with these people trying to get some money back because they feel they wasted it. Also, with the I believe there's a limited edition. If you pay a certain amount of money, you're supposed to get some pictures or some 8x10s or something back with autograph, and they weren't autographed. It's like, god damn, you guys are just. Do they just not care anymore? Is there there's a sense of like, just this is some like WCW 2000, year 2000 shit, man. They really need to stop testing their fan base. It's getting really bad. I was reading something that kind of brought up an interesting point. It always feels, and I agree with this because I was kind of trying to sum it up to one of my friends I was speaking with about this. It always feels like the WWE is constantly trying to make it seem like they're setting up for something big, and and oh, don't worry, next week next week's a new week. Oh no, this paper, we're just writing it off because something big, and then nothing ever happens, and the stuff they do try to ends up blowing up in their face. Oh, don't worry, this is gonna be big. We're gonna we're signing this guy, we're gonna debut all these guys from NXT, and nothing happened. And then we're building up the Fiend, and we're going to give him a title shot. Maybe he's going to take the title, and it doesn't happen. October, that's the month. We've been working on it all year, and October is going to be great, and it's going to be a new boom period as soon as we show up on Fox, and it's going to be amazing, and nothing happened. Just a bunch of, no kaboom. So where the hell do they go next? What do you guys think? Let me know, man, because They have all the resources in the world. They have every cheat code available, and they still can't pass the fucking game. Every cheat code available, and they're not fucking doing it. That's where it boils down to, man. Is it laziness? Is it you know, Vince McMahon just being too out of touch and not wanting to let go? I mean, we all knew he hired Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff to take the hits for him because he's been getting slammed for like the last 5 years, and maybe he needed somebody else to take some punches in the gut and then get rid of Bischoff right away. And Paul Heyman and Pritchard probably shouldn't be feeling too safe right about now, especially with these ratings fucking dying out like this. After a while, you can only fire so many people, and who are you going to blame, man? It's all on you. You know what I mean? It's all on the whims of a 74-year-old man who is completely out of touch and wants to kind of reinvent, you know, something that already has a formula and set up on how to become successful. You listen to the crowd, who gets the most cheers, who gets the most boos, and you book from there. You know, it's easy for me to say it's obviously in a chair, but I mean, who knows? But I mean, you know, this is from what we go on just by seeing what's going on, by listening to all the experts and the insiders and stuff. And you know, it's right now it's supposed to be a great time, but it's like if you're a WWE fan and you're WWE apologist, how much longer can you keep up the facade, man? It's just getting harder and harder for you guys to defend this company at the end of the day. It's like you got to stop doing it. They're going to keep doing the same crap if enough of you keep, you know, pushing forward with this message that they got that they're the best. And then it's like quickly they have one thing that's the best, that's NXT. And, you know, who knows what's going to happen with that. The 2-hour thing, a lot of people are seeing it as something that they didn't necessarily need. I think they're catching along okay now. I think maybe they start bringing up some more stars, making some more stars, more cruiserweight matches. They'll be fine. They got a great women's division. Let's get some more rivalries in there, and you'll be okay. As far as AEW goes, they're having, you know, good receptions. The viewership has gone down, but I think everybody's kind of expected that. The demographics that they're hitting, though, are the ones that TNT wanted, and they're doing great with that. Merch, you know, seems to be moving fine. Jericho's doing a fantastic job as a heel champion, constantly reinventing himself. The man at 48 years old is still the hottest thing going in wrestling. Is fucking crazy, and good on him and good on that company. I'm rooting for them. Impact had a great pay-per-view not so long ago. I think it was a Bound for Glory, and it was pretty good. Good for them, and they seem to be kind of settling in on you know, signings. They've made some moves and they're signing some people, so good on them. NWA Powers, I'm not too big of a fan of it, and I got a lot of angry little DMs about that, but you know, that's just my opinion. But I'm glad they're around because there's people that enjoy that kind of stuff. And you know, there's a lot of stuff to watch out there, man. But it's just I don't know. I guess maybe the business goes where WWE goes, maybe, huh? And I think AEW is trying to change that. So there's that struggle going on right now, and it's probably going to be a battle like that for a little while. So we all just need to wait up and see where that goes. As far as Crown Jewel, I don't really give a shit what happens. I'm waiting for the memes. I'm waiting for some botches. That's what I'm waiting for. What else happened that I missed that I touched on? Jake Hager hit some guy in the balls, and that match got disqualified, or got no contest. I mean, that kind of sucked. I kind of wanted to see him, you know, get a win, and then, you know, AEW or the Inner Circle kind of, you know, run with that. But, you know, it's MMA. It's real, and it's live TV, and shit like that happens a lot. So, as far as I know, that's probably the biggest news so far right now. Let's see what happens the rest of this week, man. It's only Monday. We still got, you know, a big Wednesday coming up. Like I said, NWA Power. We got, I think, Crown Jewel on Thursday, and I'll be back probably Sunday night recording something. So you'll probably, you know, hear something Sunday night, maybe not, or another Monday morning for another strong mid-card podcast. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and like, hit the notification bell for any time I drop a video. We got some more matches that I'm going to be reviewing this week. I'll be dropping those hopefully by this weekend. Thank you for sticking around, and don't forget to follow the Instagrams and the Twitters, and Strong Mid-Card channel Twitter coming soon. Keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys, man, and I will see you next time. Peace.
There's no Hulkamaniacs here.